A warning this morning for boaters, kayakers, tubers, and anybody else planning to spend the next couple of days out on the rivers. The water levels on the New and Roanoke rivers could change. WDBJ7's Taylor Locke joins us in studio to explain what is causing that change. Good morning, Taylor.
Good morning, Kimberly. And as our weather team just mentioned, we will be seeing high temperatures within the next few days. When the temperatures rise, so does the demand on our area's electric grid. And because more people will be cranking up the AC, Appalachian Power may need to increase power generation at its hydroelectric plants. Doing so would impact water levels at the Claytor and Leesville dams. AEP generates more power by releasing water through those dams, helping residents in our area keep their electricity working. The company says water levels below the Claytor Dam could increase up to 2 feet in the matter of minutes. The Leesville Dam could rise as much as 8 feet over a 7-hour period. This poses a risk to those who are recreating on the rivers.
Once we have to start generating that power, we know that is going to increase those water levels downstream. It won't be anything dangerous. It won't be like rapids or anything like that. But we just want to make sure we have a lot of marina owners and recreational users who find this information vital and useful for their day-to-day activities. So we want to make sure they had a heads up.
And again, this is just a warning of it may happening. And as the temperatures rise and workers monitor the grid, they will then decide if this procedure is necessary.
Yeah, just good to have that heads up, know to expect, higher river levels in some spots because a lot of folks want to beat the heat and get out there in their tubes and kayaks and things like that and enjoy the waterways. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Taylor.
In Martin's